Hello friends, welcome all of you to one of my new session. It's Umakant Patra, PhD scholar, Department of Physics, IIT Bombay. Okay friends, I am going to explain my interview experience at IIT Guwahati. As you know, this year IIT Guwahati has conducted its PhD interview through online mode, and my interview was on 2nd June. Okay, one of the thing that I should mention earlier that this time, IIT Guwahati first of all asked the student what are the topics you are prepared for the interview. As I mentioned, the topic like a solid state, quantum mechanics, and my MSc project that I prepared for the interview purpose. So they initially asked that the topic like classical mechanics, EMT, and statistical mechanics. So they do not give me just chance to give interview on my comfortable subject. So they forcefully asked me the topic from their side, like question from classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, and statistical mechanics. Okay, a little bit question from quantum mechanics, but most of the question was for classical mechanics and statistical mechanics. Okay, so one of the thing is important that you should be prepared for every topic. Okay, you have to be your knowledge on every topic so that you can handle the different question that can be come from any topic. Okay, so let's move to the question section directly and discuss the possible answers to the questions. Okay, friends, these are the questions from quantum mechanics that were asked during my PhD interview at IIT Guwahati. So first of all, one of the professors asked me, what do you mean by degeneracy? This is the important question from quantum mechanics. As you know, degeneracy means the equal energy levels or equal energy eigenvalues of a state. So then he asked me that what is the basic condition for a system to possess degeneracy. So as you know, in order to have degeneracy, the system must possess the symmetric potential, and also the system should be bound. Okay, so as I mentioned the symmetric potential, so he asked me that one dimensional infinite potential well, okay, symmetric in one dimensional infinite potential well possess degeneracy. Okay, so I replied that no, one dimensional infinite box or particle box does not possess the degeneracy. Okay, if degeneracy will be there, then the eigenfunction will be linear dependent. So linear dependent function will does not contribute for the basis, so it will not be the accepted wave function. Okay, so one dimensional particle box does not possess degeneracy. Then he asked me that the what is the degeneracy of an hydrogen atom. As you know, the hydrogen atom possesses the degeneracy like Gn equal to n square. Okay, also this is also known as the accidental degeneracy. So he asked me about accidental degeneracy, but I did not have any idea about why it is known as accidental degeneracy. That's why I was unable to answer that question. Okay, then he asked me that why you are does not taking n, which is the different state energy state n equal to 1 2 3 4 for particle in a box. You why you does not take n as negative quantity? So I replied that sir, if n will be negative, then the eigenfunction will be linear dependent. Like if n equal to plus or minus 1, for n equal to plus 1 you will find psi equal to 2 by l root over sin pi x by l. But for n equal to minus 1 you will get psi equal to minus 2 by l root over sin pi x by l. So now the both the wave function are linear dependent, so they do not will form the does not form the basis. Okay, so that's why we cannot take n as negative in particular in a box. So these are the different questions from quantum mechanics. Then one of the professors start asking me the different question from statistical mechanics. So initially he asked me what is phase space. As you know, phase space is a six-dimensional momentum position space. Okay, then he asked me to draw the phase space trajectory for a harmonic oscillator, for one-dimensional classical harmonic oscillator. As you know, for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, the Hamiltonian is h equal to p square by 2m plus half ks square. If we modify this equation, we will get an ellipse. So phase space trajectory of one dimensional harmonic oscillator is ellipse. Then he give different situation to draw the phase space trajectory of a harmonic oscillator, that classical harmonic oscillator, in a canonical ensemble and in micro canonical ensemble. Then he asked me that if we change the energy, that is E to E plus D, then what will expect the change in the phase space trajectory graph. So as he increased the energy to E plus D, so I expect that area under phase space trajectory will be more. So I draw the larger ellipse, okay, with a higher semi major axis and higher semi minor axis, okay. Then he asked me that can you explain the probability versus position graph of an harmonic oscillator. So as you know, for harmonic oscillator, the probability of finding the harmonic oscillator or the particle is maximum on the extreme position, because particle is spending more time on the extreme position, because at the extreme position its potential energy become maximum and kinetic energy is minimum. So particle possess more time or spend more time on the extreme position. But in case of mean position, its kinetic energy is maximum, so probability of finding particle is minimum on the mean position. So I explained that, sir, probability of finding classical harmonic oscillator is minimum on the mean position and finding is maximum on the extreme position, okay. So I draw it and show him by pen and paper. I think this is one of the most important question that you should practice for, okay. So then one of the professors start asking me different question from classical mechanics. As you know, he gave me situation to draw the diagram for a double pendulum. So I draw it and show him my pen and paper. Then he asked to write the Lagrangian for the double pendulum. So I write it. Then he asked that whether the Lagrangian position is cyclic coordinate. So fortunately there were no cyclic coordinate, okay. So the linear momentum will be non corresponding to the cyclic coordinate would not be conserved, because there was no cyclic coordinate, okay. Then he asked that is there any quantity in that Lagrangian which is conserved. So as you know, for the double pendulum, which is the potential is time independent, so Lagrangian is the explicitly does not depend upon time. That's why we can confirm that the system is conservative, so it possesses the total energy of the system is conserved, okay. So he mentioned that the total energy of the system is constant. Then he asked me how many equation motion will be there for the given problem. As there were two generalized coordinate in the Lagrangian, so I confirm that there will be two equation motion for corresponding to the two generalized coordinate, okay. These are the some standard and important question that were asked from the classical mechanics. So overall they covered question from quantum mechanics and statistical mechanics and classical mechanics. So they did not ask me any question from condensed matter physics or any question from my project or any question from mathematical physics, okay. So they choose to themselves to which section they will ask me. So one of the important thing that you cannot never any question from your comfort zone, so you should be prepared prepared for all the topics, okay. Most of all the topic like quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, classical mechanics, solid state, atomic, molecular, or mathematical physics, okay. So be prepared for all topics so that you can cover or answer any question according to them, okay. So you can satisfy the panel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you got some point and important question from my experience. Hope you will enjoy my session. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.